This is Pocket Watching with JT, the call-in financial talk show focused on helping you get your money right. Jayson Thornton is a certified financial planner, licensed in both tax and investments. Now, this is not personal financial advice. This is JT's real reaction to all your money and business questions. Are you deep in debt, living paycheck to paycheck, and looking for a way out? Call Pocket Watching with JT, the financial advisor for the people. Need more? Book your personal consultation with my man JT at pocketwatcher.net. Now, let's go Pocket Watching.
Pocket Watchers, welcome to Pocket Watching with JT. I am certified financial planner Jayson Thornton. That means I am an actual licensed financial advisor. I don't just play one on the internet. Now listen, before we get started, I have to give a huge shout out to all of the over 104,000 Pocket Watchers. Listen, this is an achievement, right? I want to be clear. This is an achievement, not just for me. This is an achievement for all of you, because there's no flash, there's no swag with this, right? I am a cornball financial advisor making fun of people who claim to be financial experts online. I'm extremely petty about the fact that these people promise that they can help you in your financial life, even though they have no experience, no education, no any credentials or licenses to do the things that they claim that they can do for you. And I poke fun at them. In the same time, though, I attempt to educate you guys about how finance really works. I'm not promising to make you a millionaire, but I can teach you how to stop living paycheck to paycheck. I can teach you how to build up an emergency savings fund, and I can teach you how to get out of debt. And to have over 100,000 subs in less than 3 years, I've been doing this for about 2 years, really. I just got to say thank you. Now, I'm not going to start naming out all the people who helped make this happen, because honestly, if I start naming names, I'm going to miss a name. But when the plaque comes in the mail, and I'm told it takes about 2 weeks, maybe, when the plaque comes in the mail, when that silver play button gets here, I'm going to do one dedicated live stream to the over 100,000 Pocket Watchers. I'm going to name names and say thank you to everyone who helped me get to this point. But for right now, thank you to the over 104,000 of you, the moderators, the people who are members of my YouTube channel, and every single person who subscribed. Thank you. I appreciate it. Now that I said that, hit the like button, share, subscribe if you haven't already. But let's get to it. What are we talking about tonight? What are we talking about tonight? Well, tonight we have Miss Janay White. We're asking the question, is Janay White a fake guru? Right? That's what we want to know. We want to know, because there were a lot of promises made, and there's people who say that promises were not kept. But tonight we're going to ask some questions and we're going to figure it out. And of course, we will be taking on calls. But as an added bonus, many of you are aware, if you've been rocking with me for a while, you are aware that me and Mr. Orlando Minor, we have done several collabs together. Orlando is back. And what better night for Orlando to come back than the very first live stream when we hit over 100,000 Pocket Watchers. So I'll be bringing up Orlando in a minute. But let me go through these notes real quick, because I want to give another shout out to Tony the Closer and this young lady right here, Sherelle Hodge. I have been following them online. They're the first people that I seen cover this story. Tony is the one that sent me this story. So big shout out to him and to Miss Hodge. She's really been covering a lot of stories. I really like the way that she's covered this one. If you haven't already, go subscribe to them. Go check them out. Follow them. Now, many of you may be unaware of who this lady is. You may not know what's going on. So I'm going to show you a quick clip to bring you up to speed, and we'll be right back.
It is good to see you. Janay is the CEO of Jay White Credit University, and I thought it'd be just a good opportunity to recap your background and your company. So tell us a little bit about your company.
So basically, Jay White Credit University, it was created to go around and educate the community on financial literacy, credit education, how to get loans from banks, and basically how to leverage credit to create generational wealth.
And why did you come up with this idea, this concept for a business?
Because I had bad credit at 18 years old. I was very, very ignorant on the subject of credit, and it made life very, very hard for me. So I didn't want other people in my community to go through the same challenges that I went through at a young age.
Now to a News4Jax I-Team investigation into a well-known Jacksonville entrepreneur accused of fraud, prompting her investors to file lawsuits with claims of bad business practices by her investors.
Janay White is the CEO of 8 different companies in Jacksonville, including the Jay White Business Center, which offers credit repair services and credit education courses to customers. She's also CEO of Jay White Enterprises, Luigi's Concrete and More, Jay White Marketing Incorporated, Jay White Construction Incorporated, Jay White Properties and More, Jay White Institute, and Free Game by Jay White. The Attorney General, the office has confirmed, has received multiple fraud complaints against some of her businesses.
Consumer investigator Tiffany Salome talked with 3 different people who invested a combined $100,000.
It started off with a business relationship, and then I did the mentorship program. And like I said, she has a very infectious personality.
Raven Griffin met Janay White in 2021 after enrolling in her business credit program.
So we went to each other's birthday parties. She met my family. Like, it was a very commingled relationship. So it was really crazy how everything played out.
So you trusted her?
Yes.
Griffin says Janay White broke her trust shortly after she gave her $10,000 as a silent investor.
So over 3 programs with her, I spent over $22,000. And the mentorship program itself, over $10,000. And then on top of the legal fees, that spent over $7,000 and counting.
The contract promises investors to locate and purchase a property, renovate and sell it. Raven, as the investor, would get 70% of the profits at the time of sale. But there's one small problem. Griffin says she never got an investment property, and those she did see.
And a lot of the properties that we end up seeing were not first-time flipper friendly. They were completely dilapidated, from termite infestations to having issues with galvanized piping, roofing situations, like permit pulling type of things.
9 months later,
I realized all of the things that we agreed to in our initial contract were not going to be able to be done.
And that's when you got a lawyer?
Yes.
This is an intentional fraud to this scheme, or this is an overcommitting or, overzealous representation of capacity.
Chris Dempsey is Raven's attorney. He says dozens of others have lost their money as well.
It's a mess. I've never seen anything like it.
Dempsey says there's a potential for a class action lawsuit with 2 possible schemes at work: a real estate mentorship program and an Airbnb investment program. We talked with Buddy Wilson and Andre Romano, who both invested money into what was advertised as a short-term investment opportunity. Contracts show they paid a one-time administrative and setup fee of $7,000 to Janay White for a turnkey Airbnb property. Monthly rent and other fees would be deducted from their profits. Both tell me they were promised profits of $1,000 or more each month for each Airbnb unit they invested in.
How many units total did you invest in, and how much money total?
8 units total, $56,000.
And how much money were you hoping to profit off of that investment?
Somewhere around doubling my money.
How many did you secure?
I was able to secure about 3 properties. However, none of the properties were actually existent to in my opinion.
Romano and Wilson both say they received monthly profit and loss statements from their short-term investment properties, telling the I-Team they started noticing red flags immediately because the numbers weren't adding up.
It looked like they were copy and pasting all these documents, all these profit and loss statements, because I had 2 profit and loss statements that were just identical as if it was copy and pasted.
After the first month, whenever I got the profit loss statement, I knew something was wrong.
Wilson recently started a Facebook group to connect with other victims.
I need every victim of Janay White schemes to go ahead and email the address that I provided for the state attorney.
In 3 days, the group gained 6,000 members. 50 people now claim they also invested with Jay White and saw little to no profits. Members are also comparing profit and loss statements in the group and realizing they were promised the same Airbnb properties and have identical monthly statements.
I think they took the money and could care less about the information that I was receiving and what type of business that they were doing.
All 3 investors have filed complaints with the Better Business Bureau and Attorney General's office. Janay White denies the claims against her businesses, sending the I-Team a written statement that reads in part, quote, "The allegations are unfounded and simply not true. In all business ventures, there is a substantial risk of profit and loss with no guarantees." Dempsey says he's in contact with more investors every day with similar stories. He plans to take Raven's case to trial.
And to have somebody sign a contract, it looks like they couldn't even carry out in the first place, is beyond disingenuous. It's borderline criminal.
All right, people. All right, people. I just want to be clear here. Not calling anyone a scammer yet. We got to go through the notes. But I can say right now, Miss White, it does not look good. It doesn't look good based on everything that we have here. So let's go to the notes. Let's go to the notes and see what we have here. Now, I went through those news reports. I saw some other posting online, and I saw some red flags. And I want to see if you guys caught them as well. So let's take a look at this together. So question that I immediately asked, and this is something that you have to do. Once again, this is coming from a financial advisor, not just some guy online. This is what I'm saying to you from the capacity of a person who actually went to school and studied how to give people advice. Then went beyond that, got licensed to give people advice. Here's the question that you must ask anytime you're about to hand over your money to someone else. What's her background in investing or real estate? Right? Does she have a lot of experience taking custody of people's money and then putting that money to work for them, growing that money, and then, according to the agreement, paying people back the money that she said that she would? Does she have a lot of experience doing that? Survey says no. No. Now, this actually comes from her LinkedIn page. And if you follow her LinkedIn page, you will see that she has a very unique title. Very unique title. I've never heard of this title before. Maybe someone in the chat, maybe you can enlighten me. Maybe I missed something. But in my multiple years of being in the finance industry, I've never heard of this title before. She is, let's get this right, she is an economic self-sustainability expert. All right, hold on, let's make sure. Let's make sure. Maybe I'm missing something here. But yes, she is an economic self-sustainability. What? Self-sufficient and credit. See, I'm not trying to be petty. But I'm just saying, when people come up with these titles and these terms that you've never heard of before, it's a red flag. I've never heard of this particular position in the world of finance. I've never heard of it, but maybe I'm wrong. Maybe I'm wrong. Now, she is a graduate of the University of Phoenix. Shout out to the University of Phoenix. Very, very famous online university. The issue with that is she apparently is a recent graduate from the University of Phoenix. Looks like she graduated in 2023. That would be this year. So her experience beyond having the bachelor's degree isn't much because she just got it. But shouts out to the University of Phoenix. It also appears that she is a licensed notary. It is a noble profession. As a financial advisor, I use the services of a notary often, probably at least once a month. Use the services of a notary very often. My problem here is I would not hand over my life savings to a notary. I would allow a notary and use the services of a notary to properly sign and my documents and prove that I am who I say I am, and look at my my IDs and whatnot. But to hand over my life savings to a notary, hoping that they can flip my money, red flag. All right. I just want to show you guys some of the other things that she does at the same time here. I want you to pay attention. She is the CEO of all of these different companies at the same time. Just be clear. CEO at the same time. She is the CEO of the Financial Literacy and Credit Repair Education Company. All right. She's also the CEO of the Business Services Agency. All right. She is also the CEO of a digital marketing agency. Okay, let's keep it going. She's also the CEO of a used car service for single moms. So she's a CEO of a car lot that specializes in selling cars to single mothers. All right, and she is also the head of her own non-profit organization. Now, some of you may say, well, JT, why are you alarmed that this woman is multitasking? I mean, just because you can't do it. And I can tell you right now, I cannot be the CEO of all these different organizations and companies. I can't do it. I can't do it. My hat's off to you, young lady. You are amazing. But here's my issue about handing over your life savings to a person who has this many titles. To quote Eli from What Happened to Common Sense. Shout out to Eli. His birthday was the other day. To quote Eli, there's only 24 hours in a day, right? There's only 24 hours in a day. You're going to sleep about 8 to 12 of those hours. Where is she going to find the time to be the CEO of all of these different companies and organizations and flip your money? Right? Let's just think about this for a second. She's the CEO of all these different companies. She also has time to take your money and flip your money. Red flag. Red flag. All right, we're almost done here. My next note here, high returns. High returns. Now, I know many of you, you're aspirational. You're in the situation where you want to see your money grow, right? You've got a hot $15,000 in your pocket, and you want to see that $15,000 turn into $150,000. I know, I got it. You want to break the generational curse of poverty in your family. I got you. Here's the problem. Very high returns are unusual, okay? High returns are unusual. Where there are high returns, there's extremely high risk. Whenever someone is offering me or any one of my clients some investment opportunity where the returns are extremely higher than what the S&P 500 is getting, well, whatever, any index fund, right? Whenever I see that, it's a red flag. Let me explain why. If you paid attention to that news report, you'll see that these two gentlemen, they got into an investment with Miss Jay White, allegedly. They got the documents, but allegedly. And those documents showed, and based on the news report, that if they were to invest $7,000, they would get one Airbnb unit. Now, they bought multiple. They bought more than one, but let's keep the math simple. Let's keep the math simple. If you would buy into one Airbnb unit with Miss White, it cost you $7,000. Your income was roughly $1,000 a month. So in a year, that would be a $12,000 return. Now, I know a lot of you street hustlers and, corner boys, to you, that's not a big deal. But in the real world of business, a 60% return on your money is great. All right, let's slow down real quick. You put in 7, you get back 12 every year. That is an amazing return. Amazing return. But it's unrealistic. And here's why. In the real world of business, you have to always ask the question, why me? Why me? Why is someone giving you such a great return? Now, I know you believe you're special. And those two gentlemen who did that deal, I'm sure they thought they were getting a great deal. But here's the problem. If Janay White is 10% of the businesswoman that she appears to be online, that she projects herself to be online, why would she get $7,000 from you and give you a 60% return? The bank, even if the bank was charging her extremely high interest, let's say the bank charges her 20% interest, even though the bank's not going to charge her 20% interest. Let's say the bank charges her 20% interest. That would still be much less than giving you 60% on your money. If she's 10% of the businesswoman that she appears to be online, that would be hustling backwards. Why would she take money from you in drips, right? We're talking about drips. $7,000 from this fella, $7,000 from this girl, $7,000 from that guy. Why would she get it in drips when she could get $500,000 at 20% and just keep the ball rolling? It doesn't make sense. Red flag. Red flag. I think I got one more. And I'm going to bring up Orlando. So these type of returns, unrealistic. It's not going to happen. But there was one more thing that stood out to me. The business plan. All right. Now, if you ignore point number 1, no history, no experience, ignore that. Ignore number 2, high returns, right? Let's just ignore those two for a second and zero in on the actual business plan. Was the business plan viable? Maybe she couldn't get 60% returns, but hell, 15% return, 12% returns. In the world of investing, that's pretty damn good. Someone gets you 15, 20%, that's good. 60 is crazy, but 15 is great. Let's take a look at the business plan because something popped up to me and it was somewhat alarming. During the news report, they showed this profit and loss statement. Now, allegedly, Ms. White, she would send her investors profit and loss statements showing them how their units were doing. Surprisingly, her units, they were always not making money, right? To the point where the investors actually had to pay her to break even, right? They would pay her to break even. And when I saw this particular profit and loss statement from February 2023, it got me thinking, right? Got this big old nerd brain thinking. And I said to myself, I don't think she thought out her business plan. Now, I know it's really hard to read, so I highlighted it for you. Let's go to the next one. let's take a look at this profit and loss statement together. All right, we're gonna go slow on this one, right? We're gonna go slow. Let's take a look at this. Now, this is the profit and loss statement that she sent to at least one of her investors. I think multiple people got the same profit and loss statements, but let's just say one. She sent this to one person. Now let's pay attention to this. Profit and loss statement, February 2023. Now, according to her statement, this particular unit had 100% occupancy. All right. That means every day of the month, somebody was renting this property. Every day, without fail, someone was renting, right? Nights booked, 28. There's only 28 days in February. So every day, someone was renting this unit. Unbooked nights, 0. Once again, emphasizing 100% occupancy. Got it. Okay. Here's my problem with this business plan. For 1 month, this particular unit made $1,784 in rental income. For a month? Okay. All right. All right, Miss White. You know better than me. You're the Airbnb expert. I am not. Absolutely not an Airbnb expert. But the math isn't mathing for me, because for an entire month of February, Black History Month, this particular unit grossed $1,784. The expenses were rent, because, see, she's renting the place that she's renting, right? She's renting an apartment to Airbnb the apartment. Now, the rent for the apartment is $1,659. Hold on. The rent for the apartment is about $100 less than the income that she's making when the place is fully booked. All right. Utilities was $508.19. Cleaning fee was $150. So the total expenses for the month of February for this particular unit was $2,317.19. That means they were in the hole. $533.19. The investor had to pay Miss White $533.19. Hold on. The place was rented every night. That means this unit will never be profitable. I'm sorry. Maybe I'm going too fast for some people. I mean, I know others are getting it, but let's speak to the kids in the back of the classroom. There's no way possible, based on the numbers we have before us, could this unit ever be profitable. She is not charging enough to make this profitable. Even if she had no other expenses other than the rent on the apartment that she's in turn Airbnb-ing, you would only make about $100. But of course, there's other fees. There's cleaning fees, there's utilities, there's all the other things that you have when you rent an apartment. It doesn't make sense. So once again, for the last time, red flag. Red flag. So at this time, I think it's appropriate to bring up my brother, who really started this whole live streaming on Pocket Watching with JT with me. Many of you know him. Many of you love him and his laugh. Let me bring up to the stage my brother, Mr. Orlando Minor. What's going on, Orlando?
What's going on, man?
Do those numbers make sense?
Ridiculous. Ridiculous. How many? It never ends. No, they don't, man. Not at all. Not at all. She's doing the arbitrage thing. So, right. I mean, that's not going to work anyway, especially in this environment. But, you know, it's nuts. It's nuts. By the way, I don't know if you saw it, but did you see when I was watching that video, she actually had a Drake lyric on her business window. It said, "I'm." Go for it.
No.
Did you see that?
I saw it, and I said to myself, boy, would I love to do business with a woman like this. I show up to her place of business, and there is a Drake line on the window. Shut up and take my money. Shut up and take my life savings. You got Drake on your, what it said? It said top 2, and I'm not number 2. Right? What, something like that?
That's exactly what it said.
When I saw that, I said, that's a funny way of saying you're number 1. Right? That's a funny way of saying that you're number 1. Give her your life savings, why don't you? Give her your life. All right, so real quick, we're not done. Now listen, people, we're gonna bring up callers. But we got to go back to the old days of pocket watching with JT. Since I got Orlando with me, there's more video to react to. All right, there's more video to react to. I saved a little more video.
Okay.
Because I want to get your reaction, but I want to give a shout out to a couple of people who gave a super chat, especially this person right here. You are ahead of me, sir. Thank you, Joshua. Says she was endorsed by your bestie, Jay Morrison. You know that's a red flag.
Maybe just a little bit. Just a little bit.
She was the up and coming princess of the drifters, or the grifters, I'm thinking about to say. So just to let you know, we was on the same wavelength. We were thinking the same way. I want you to check out this video real quick.
Who owns over 50 Airbnbs and just got awarded by Florida as a certified affordable housing minority builder contractor.
Look at that. Look at this. Look at this.
Queen Janay White, who owns over 50 Airbnbs and just got awarded by Florida as a certified affordable housing minority builder contractor with J. White Construction, owns over 8 businesses and a nonprofit. Queen, you are not just Black excellence, you are excellence.
Boy,
and
they
shouts
love
out to
those nonprofits.
He also covered this story. Listen,
they love those nonprofits, boy.
When Jay Morrison is giving you a shout out, it might be time to rethink about what you're doing. It doesn't mean you're a scammer. I'm just saying when Jay Morrison starts shouting you out, because what I'm told, once again, Orlando, remember we're cornballs, we're lame.
Yes,
right?
yes.
But I do remember the cool kids. The cool kids always used to say, "Game recognized game." Right? You remember that?
They did. I do.
Game recognized game. So when Jay Morrison is giving you a shout out,
kiss of death.
It's bad. All right, so let me bring up. I got more though. There's more videos. So real quick, I'm gonna bring up. I gotta show you this. So there's more news reports.
There are dozens of others in Jacksonville that tell me they've also lost money investing with Janay White. Watura and Denise Wright tell me that they got involved by investing in a turnkey Airbnb property. But after watching our investigation last night, they fear they've lost nearly $15,000.
Now, real quick, let me warn you, Orlando. This victim might break your heart. This is a tough person to come out. When you get a victim like this, you might as well hang it up. You're not winning in the court of public opinion when a victim like this claims you got him. Watch this.
You know, I have multiple myeloma cancer, and my entire spine is cracked. I couldn't do the things that I used to do. So we decided to invest.
Watura and Denise Wright were looking for a reliable way to make passive income after a life-changing medical diagnosis.
Signed the documents we needed to sign, gave $10,000 cash at the time.
Contracts show the Wrights paid almost $15,000 to Janay White this summer investing in an Airbnb property, and in various credit repair programs. In 6 months, receipts show they only received about $1,200 in profits. Yet the Airbnb listing shows the property is 100% booked until October of 2025.
Once again, the numbers are not making sense. The unit is supposed to be 100% booked, full occupancy, but they keep losing money. They keep losing money.
The 100% occupancy, I mean, but then again, you know, probably the investors, they don't know. But like, I could see that it'd be like 100% occupancy. So not one day?
Not one day.
Not one day. You tell me every single day somebody was there?
Every day for months, someone is laid up in this Airbnb.
That's interesting.
Can't make money.
Interesting.
Looks bad.
And they say they were expecting monthly profits close to $2,000.
Now to a News for Jax I-Team investigation into a well-known Jacksonville entrepreneur.
They learned others were in the same boat as them after watching News for Jax last night.
Devastated. I'm worrying about taking care of my grandkids and my wife, you know, providing my part of what I'm supposed to. I've never been one to take upon the system to take care of me.
The Wrights say they were never allowed to see their Airbnb investment property in person. After joining a Facebook group set up by other Jay White investors, they learned at least 3 other people have identical contracts and were sent identical profit and loss statements.
That's not human.
There we go. That's the hustle. Looks like the hustle to me. Multiple people got the same contract for the same unit. I think they call that a Ponzi scheme.
I think so. The question is, did she even own the properties? Did she even own the properties to begin with?
No, I mean, she was renting. Once again, it's the Airbnb arbitrage.
It's the arbitrage.
You rent an apartment for long term, then you Airbnb.
Yeah.
You know who else thought that would be a good idea? WeWork.
WeWork
thought it would be a great idea to buy long-term rental property, right? To rent it, to get into a long-term lease, and then sublease it to other people. WeWork filed for bankruptcy not too long ago.
Exactly. So if they can't make it work, what makes you think that you can?
With billions, WeWork had billions of dollars invested in it, and it couldn't make
billions.
By renting long-term leases and then chopping it up and subleasing it to other people, they couldn't make it work. But Janay White, the economic self-sufficiency expert, she's going to get you a return on your money.
with eight different businesses.
8 different businesses at the same time. And listen, not only did she have 8 different businesses at the same time, Orlando, she was also going to the University of Phoenix online at the same time. How are you? Now, this is not a shot to the University of Phoenix. Not a shot to the University of Phoenix. But here's my question,
man.
How can you be the CEO of like 8 different businesses and a nonprofit and turn in your research paper on time for the University of Phoenix?
Let me tell you what. Man. There's so many people that I've talked to in the past that, hey man, I got to go to work. I got to do this. I don't have time to take. All I got time is do 1 class a week. But she running 8 businesses and going to school too.
She can
do it all.
She can do it all. She can do it. She's a boss chick, as they say online. She's a boss chick. See, a lame like me wouldn't understand how a boss chick moves. Clearly, I don't get it.
Clearly,
yeah.
To take away from people that has worked for their life for this.
Janay White is seen here in this now deleted Facebook Live video posted last Friday, reacting to the Facebook group.
You ain't getting your money back. You ain't getting your money back.
Prepare yourself. Let me be clear. This is the real reaction to the boss chick, to the financial literacy, economic self-sufficiency expert. This is her real reaction to a group of people who are claiming she owes them money. This is how she professionally addresses her critics.
That has worked for their life for this.
Janay White is seen here in this now deleted Facebook Live video posted last Friday, reacting to the Facebook group.
You ain't getting your money back. You ain't getting your money back. That shit, oh, who was on that talking shit? DJ Billingsley? Child, he a woman. And any man, you a bitch ass nigga. You a man in women's shit. Get your bitch ass off this live. Talking about he was in there talking shit. You a bitch. I don't want to say it on live. I don't want to implicate myself. But niggas like that, it's a place for niggas like you. Cause I know some niggas. I know some niggas who don't be on Facebook.
She knows some niggas who don't be on Facebook.
I
What
tell
is
you
that
what, man.
supposed to mean?
That is at
mean
McDonald's
that she has
customer
goons?
service.
You threaten your disgruntled investors with Florida goons. She's got Jacksonville, Florida goons that will take care of her investors.
But I guarantee she wasn't talking like that when she was taking their money.
Not
at all.
Absolutely
not. Right?
Absolutely. I bet you she was just as sweet.
Of course. Of course.
All right, we're gonna get through this and we're gonna bring up callers. There is a link in the chat. Okay, there's a link in the chat. When we're done with this video, hit the link and we'll take your calls. Let's
get your money back. That shit, oh, who was on that talking shit? DJ Billingsley? Child, he a woman. And any man, you a bitch ass nigga. You a man in women's shit. Get your bitch ass off this live. Talking about he was in there talking shit. You a bitch. I don't want to say it on live. I don't want to implicate myself. But niggas like that, it's a place for niggas like you. Cause I know some niggas. I know some niggas who don't be on Facebook. If you came to me for an Airbnb, what the fuck make you think that money ain't spent? So if I ain't spend the money and you think the money just sitting in my account, then you participated in the scam. You participated in the scam. So did you want it to be a scam or did you not? Because I bet you people don't even be asking questions till it's time for them to take a loss. But if you was making $1 million, you wouldn't have gave a fuck where the money came from. You wouldn't have cared where the money came from.
Bitch came through Cash App.
If the bitch came through Cash App, Apple Pay, $50,000 a month, you wouldn't have cared.
Fuck what the contract say then.
Orlando. That's the definition, in my point of view. That's the definition of a Ponzi scheme. She's basically telling them it doesn't matter what the contract says. If I was giving you your money, you wouldn't care where the money came from. That's a Ponzi scheme.
That's it right there. Boy, wait till they play that in court. It's like, explain this, ma'am. Explain it.
Man, what did you mean it didn't matter where the money came from? Right? Are you saying that it doesn't matter if the money that you're paying to investor A is coming from investor C's investment? Is that what you're saying, man? Like, why do they talk about it?
Yeah. What did you mean by the contract doesn't matter?
The contract doesn't matter what the contract says. What are you, some lame? Some business nerd? We in the streets, baby. We get it out the mud. It don't matter what the contract says.
Oh, man.
It's not over.
Hey, isn't that what they call is this what, like, self-snitching? Is that what they call it?
Oh, this is absolutely self-snitching at its highest.
Got me fucked up. I don't want to say it on live. I don't want to implicate myself.
Anything you'd want to say to Janay White if you could talk to her today?
That was our hard-earned $10,000 to $15,000. And as you can see, my husband's condition, we need that money. And you promised a service that you could not provide. And that's disheartening.
These allegations are simply not true. I have so many positive stories.
She's delusional. It's too much of a paper trail to deny it at this point.
Two sides, once friends, now foes. Rayvon Griffin describes her experience with well-known entrepreneur Janay White as a total disappointment after she said she was scammed for more than $10,000 from White's bad business practices.
It's too many records. It's too many text messages. It's too many emails. It's too many signed contracts.
Griffin, a silent partner, says she, along with several investors, were led to believe they received properties for renovation and sale, only to find promises unfulfilled.
And she's very good at avoiding questions and avoiding the truth. And that's when I realized I had to take a step back.
But White says that she never scammed her clients. This is just the ugly side of business investment.
Unfortunately, this is a horrible side of business. I have lost millions of dollars doing these ventures, bringing people with me. I have hundreds of thousands of dollars in chargebacks from people who stole from my company after they received profits.
A Facebook group with over 9.4 thousand clients was created to garner awareness in the alleged scam. But Janay says some of the things people are saying is simply not true.
I hate those allegations. I hate that people are referencing that with my name. I absolutely had 52 Airbnbs, and that is what people were investing in my company.
Jacksonville attorney Chris Dempsey is now representing these investors. He tells us Griffin's case may just be the tip of the iceberg and well over $200,000 scammed.
It's growing by the day. It's growing in magnitude, and it's egregious and disturbing to me, and really sad that this has happened in our community by somebody who is not unknown.
Griffin says she was fortunate that she was financially stable to bounce back, but some people lost it all.
People who have lost tens of thousands of dollars. Like, this is no small amount of money.
As for White,
I do not want a few complaints or a few allegations to diminish all of the good that I have done in my community, especially without people hearing my side of the story.
For First Coast News on your side, I'm Jasmine Monroe.
See, and I think people don't realize all that you don't know my side of the story. When the guy who has cancer in the mechanical chair wheels up to the witness stand, all that my side of the story goes away. That no one's trying to hear about your side of the story. When the guy who is surviving cancer wheels himself up, it's a bad look. It's a bad look.
And I think her side of the story was told in that Instagram post or whatever she was doing. That pretty much sealed the deal. It's over for her, man. I like I said, and then she said I did own 52. So now she sounded like she didn't even have anything invested. I'd be listening to these keywords, was and probably and all this other stuff she was saying. It's a wrap. It's a wrap.
Yeah, it's going to look bad. So listen, we got some callers here. There is a link in the chat. You see it right there. There's a link in the chat. Hit the link. We are going to start taking on some callers. I want to hear from you. Maybe I'm missing something. There's many of you who may have been following this story a little closer than the pocket watcher. But I'm going to tell you right now, when I add up all the red flags, when I take a look at this whole picture, it doesn't look good. Once again, you guys, you have to stop giving your money to these online experts. You got to stop it, right? This is your life savings, money that you cannot simply throw away at, a recent University of Phoenix graduate who has been able somehow, some way to run as the CEO, 8 different businesses and a nonprofit, and, also able to turn in her term papers online. It's extremely hard to do all of that and flip your money, right? You got to pick a side. You can't do both things. But we got some callers here. We got Jack.
I want to say one thing.
We
JT,
got
can you hear me?
Layla. Hold on, go right here.
Okay. I just want to ask, are you amazed at when we do stories like this, or when you do stories like this, of how much money is actually in the community? Are you like 10,000, 15, 20, the Caesar Pena thing, $200,000, $300,000 people are giving these individuals? Are you surprised at just how much money when if we hear it, everybody's broke. No one has any money. But where is all of this money coming from, in your opinion?
Such a great question. Such a great question. We're going to get to the callers. I got to answer this. Such a great question. At first, Orlando, I will admit, at first I was confused. I didn't know where all this money was coming from. But because of all the people who are calling me, and not me personally, let's be clear. You're calling my office and booking a free consultation, and I'm talking to people about their personal financial situation. And some of these people are telling me what happened. They said that they learned from the fake guru. Let's let me be clear. Orlando, give me a minute.
Okay.
It's a whole system. It's a whole system. Let me try to break this down. So they go to the fake guru to get their credit fixed, for example. Okay, let's say they go to the fake guru to get their credit fixed. The fake guru then starts filing a bunch of fake stolen identity affidavits and whatnot, and that cleans up the person's credit. So now the person's credit is A1 because they lied several times saying that they really didn't owe the money. Someone stole their identity. So now their credit's high. They then take the high credit to get a bunch of credit cards and personal loans. They get the money from the credit cards and the personal loans because this was all a part of the fake guru's master plan. They're going to fix your credit. Then when your credit is fixed, you get access to business funding. You're going to get the business funding, which really is just a bunch of high interest credit cards that you can't pay back. You're going to take that money. You're going to buy their mastermind course. And a part of their mastermind course is the opportunity to then invest with them. So the money is still coming from just a bunch of debt. But see the funnel that the mastermind has you in. The mastermind puts you into a funnel. They're the savior. They're going to teach you how to fix your credit. They're going to get your credit fixed. Then with your fixed credit, they're going to help you get a bunch of credit cards. You're going to take those credit cards to buy the next level of the fake guru's offerings, which is give me the money and I'll invest it for you. And then stuff like this happens. So that's been my experience. That's what I've seen goes on, which is sad because when the investment doesn't work out, the person still ends up in debt, having to pay the debt back with no income to show for it. So that's my personal opinion based on the many, many, many calls that's been going to my office. That's what's been going on.
That's interesting.
All right, so here we go. We got Jax, we got Layla, we got Gigi, we got let's say DeAndre, Charles, Otis, Angel, and DeKim. So let's go with Jax. Jax, you are live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
What's going on with you, JT? Can you hear me okay?
Loud and clear. Go right ahead.
Yeah, so I actually live in Jacksonville, Florida, and I've actually been researching her for a very long time. I actually been seeing a lot of her ads on Facebook, so I went ahead and did my research. So I actually did my investigative research, and I called all those apartments myself, and they all told me, "What are you talking about?" One guy, he laughed at me. He said, "Man, we don't do that stuff. What are you talking about?" I said, "Yeah." I said, "I'm looking at an ad right now." I said, "As we speak." I sent it to him. I said, "Look, I see this ad," and I acted as if I was an investor. So I said, "I have $10,000. I'm going to invest." She says I give it to her and I can have her unit. Both apartment complexes told me we don't do that. Like, that's crazy. You literally lost your mind. Now this was in May. Now I'm probably gonna make some people mad. Because like I said, I know the truth and some other stuff y'all don't know about. I'm pretty much gonna say it. So you probably know my voice. You may get mad. Oh well. So what ended up happening was that was in May. So I went ahead and I saved all the screenshots and everything because I knew this was going to eventually happen. So I got everything, even from another business partner that pitched me another deal. It's another real estate investment deal. So all this stuff is pretty much documented as apartments, and all. And no offense to the victims, because I am in the group, but all you had to do was just call, and they would tell you we don't sublease or any of that. So that's what it is for the people listening. It's called subleasing. It's 110% against the leasing agreement. And if you go on if you go on the Duval County Clerk of Courts, all those apartment complexes have evicted her. It's like 5 or 6 different evictions, right? They just filed this week or last week. Yeah.
That's why she says was.
Yeah, exactly. And now another thing I'm going to say before I get off now, this is going to make some people mad. If you look in the chat, do you see that link I posted? That A Romano Enterprises. If you see that, that link,
it's going too fast. But where does that link go to?
Oh, actually, so one of the victims, Andre Romano, like, once again, I have no issue with dude. I don't know him. Maybe he can clear it up. But if you go on the chat in StreamYards, I put a link there, and if you click on that, come to find out, he subleases too. So my only problem was that you're on the news saying you got scammed, but he's actually subleasing apartments too. I just want I put that out there. It's like in Jacksonville
from the news report.
Yes, he is subleasing apartments too. If you look at it,
I'm looking at the link. I'm looking at the link now.
So if you go on there,
this is his website.
That's his website. I have all the proof.
What she?
Yes, go now. Click on short-term rentals.
Listen, I'm on it right now. Hold on.
That's crazy.
Give me a second. I'm gonna try to share it, but give me 1 second. I'm gonna pull it up, but just let me know. Let me know what am I looking at. I'm looking at the short-term rentals. Okay.
Okay, you're gonna click on the one that says Tia on there. The short-term thing. It's like can't remember what the name is. Her name is Tia. Click on that one. Yeah. Go ahead and click on that one for me. Okay. Now guess what? I called them. I talked to them on 2 different occasions. They said they do not sublease. So it's like, how are you on the news saying you got scammed, but you're doing the same thing? And I dare any one of y'all can call those apartments yourself, and they will tell you we do not sublease. We don't sublease. So it's like a lot of people are just finessing here in Jacksonville. And the name is called the Luxor Club. You can call it.
Put all of this stuff together and email me. Email it to pocketwatcherjt@gmail.com. Put it all together. Email it to me. We may have to do a part 2. We may have to
trust me, you will. You will. Trust me.
Okay. All right, my brother. Thank you so much.
Subleasing is ridiculous.
Orlando, could you please explain to the audience what just happened? Because I think you got a pretty good grasp of what's going on.
Yeah. So what he was basically saying is that she was basically renting out apartments and then subleasing. Well, no apartment owner is going to want an individual to sublease because you really have no control over what's going on in the property. You lease it to one person, and then that person leases it to another person, and it just messes up everything. And in the lease, it specifically says you cannot do this, and if you do this, the lease is voided. So that's what happened in this scenario is she's going around leasing apartment units and then subleasing them out to individual, calling them, her Airbnb short-term rentals. And that's the reason why she has all these evictions coming out, because when they found out she was subleasing it, they evicted her.
Oh my God. Hey, and big shout out to the birthday boy. I think his birthday was yesterday. Eli from What Happens in Comments says, listen, people, I need you to do me a favor. Eli has been a big part of the growth of my channel here, Pocket Watching with JT, along with Orlando, Tony the Closer. See, I said I wouldn't start naming names. I know I'm going to leave someone out. I'm going to do a special show where I name names about everyone who helped me build this platform. But a lot of the people who dislike me dislike Eli. And they attacked Eli on Instagram, and now his Instagram is down. So do me a favor. Let's do something to show all the haters that don't like this type of content, that you do support this type of content, go and subscribe to What Happened to Common Sense on YouTube. Hopefully he gets his Instagram back. But if he doesn't, whatever, we're going to support him right here on YouTube. Shots out to Eli. What Happened to Common Sense? I say it all the time. These people are slow. Nothing about her reflects a financially literate individual. I know.
What can you say, man? What can you say?
Oh my God, they're just hustlers. A lot of them are just good marketers and hustlers. That's what they do. All right, let me bring up, we got Layla and then Gigi. So let me bring up Layla. You're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
What's up, JT?
Yes, ma'am. What do you think about this story? Am I missing something? Is there something I'm not seeing?
No, you ain't missing nothing, JT. But JT, she should be ashamed of herself with the Facebook thuggery. I ain't know people do that.
Facebook thuggery. Yes, there are many. Listen, I don't want no smoke. I'm not in Jacksonville or whatever. I'm not in Jacksonville, but I tell you right now, I don't want no smoke. She says she knows some ends who don't be on Facebook, you know, that do real stuff. I don't want any parts of that. Listen, Miss White, let me make it clear. Miss White, if you're watching this right now, feel free to hit the link. If I'm missing something, I'm going to give you the platform. You can tell me what I'm missing. You can tell me what I got wrong. You have 100% opportunity to tell your side of the story. Hit the link and come on up. But I don't want no smoke. So, Layla, last couple of words, you know, what do you think is going to happen in this situation?
I don't know. I think she should go to jail. I think, but that's all I wanted to say, JT. My phone died. That's it, JT.
All right. Thank you so much. I appreciate you coming up. We got Gigi and then we got Charles. So let me bring up Gigi. Gigi, hold on. Gigi, you're live on the air. What's going on?
Yeah, what's going on, JT? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Yeah, she like the last caller said, she ought to be ashamed of herself for throwing her little tantrum like that just because she got caught up in her fuckery. That's that right there. I mean, I couldn't have been in that Facebook group seeing her doing what she said to them people like that. Cause boy, look here, I'd have got my little goony goons from Dade County, and boy, we would have went shop on her Miss Dawn Diva or Griselda Blanca or whatever she called herself. Man, I'd have got my money back. Talking like that, oh boy, I would have got my money back. But yeah, I think we just want to see Black people doing so well, especially as a Black woman. We want to see them doing so well, and we see the red flags, but we want to support it and get that money quick. And we don't want to do our due diligence, and they come back to bite us in the ass every single time. So I just hope the call to see that if they want to get into real estate, that they really do their due diligence on these people, especially online or especially on social media. I see anyone on social media talking about this and that, we're gonna get his returns. I got these. Man, do your homework on these people, because 9 times out of 10, they is not about that life they showing. They is not getting it like how you think they getting it, man. But like I say, we put our faith in them, and we want to see Black folks doing so well. But let me tell you, man, it's tough. It's tough out here, and these people are not doing what they say they could do. You know, it's just sad at the end of the day. But like I said, if that would have been me, man, I'd have caught her slipping one day, and boy, look, I'd have pulled out that little weave, the veneers, all that, and got my little money back. Because I can't. Hey, I would have had to do what I had to do. But yeah, I appreciate that. And like I said, y'all do a real good job at exposing these people, and keep on doing it. Appreciate it.
Thank you. I appreciate it. Now, I want to be clear. We do not support violence here on Pocket Watching with JT. You go through the legal routes. You call your local authorities, go to the attorney general, go to the legal routes. You don't have to do violence. I don't know if you're going to get your money back, because I think that money's gone.
It's
but
gone.
You go through the legal routes. What do you think they should do?
You talking about to get their money back?
Or anything.
Well, first of all, I think that money's gone, right? So the only thing you can do is go through the legal route, which is what they're doing with their lawyer and the AG and all that other stuff. But there's just going to be, she doesn't have any properties. I can almost, I don't want to say promise, but something I want to put my finger on is that even though she works on credit, I can put my finger on it and be like, she probably has bad credit on top of on top of saying that she's fixing people's credit. So, man, listen, and when it comes to the community, man, the biggest it's a lot of these credit repairs. Business credit is a big one for me because you said it earlier. It's nothing but just high interest credit cards. But there's like this stigma around this business credit that you don't have to pay it back, and it's just, nobody can come and get you after if you don't pay it back. It's just money. Yeah, just file for bankruptcy. No big deal. And it's just rough. So when it comes to getting their money back, I think it's gone. They're gonna have to go after her assets, and she probably doesn't have any assets. Let's be real. She probably doesn't have any assets, so it's just gonna be gone. I don't even know if you're the tax man. Can you file that as a loss, or can you do any type of loss for that?
And great question. I'm about to bring up some other callers, but great question. Okay, yes, you can file it as a loss on your tax return, but here's the issue: you are limited to $3,000 per year to claim an investment loss against your ordinary income. So let me give you an example. Let's say you make $30,000 on your job and you've got this $15,000 investment loss with Miss White. You can deduct $3,000 from the $30,000, right? So that would bring down your income from $30,000 to $27,000, right? But the other $12,000 of the loss gets suspended to the next year. Now, if you happen to have a big gain somewhere else in the world of investments, then you can offset more. So let's say for whatever reason you find a hot crypto coin, which is BS. But let's say you get a hot crypto coin and you make $100,000 with that crypto coin, and you have capital gains of $100,000. Well, you can use all of your loss from a capital loss against that. You just can't use an investment loss 100% against W-2 income. You're maxed out at $3,000 per year. So yes, you can, but it's limited unless it's going against other investment income. So hopefully y'all got that. Let me bring up, I think we got Charles. Charles, you're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
Hey, what's going on, JT Orlando? Can y'all hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
All right. Thank you, fellas. The first thing I want to say, I want to start it off with a lighthearted joke, although I feel bad for the victims. Mm-hmm. But whenever we see these kind of people and they're scamming, it always brings me back to that courtroom scene with Nino Brown, and he's like, "Listen, they don't make Uzis in Harlem, so it wasn't me that came through with everything. I'm just a byproduct of the system." And it's always just hilarious to me because that's like, we got it. And Orlando has a video out. I want all y'all, please go watch it. Orlando got a video out, and it might be a little old. Orlando, you might know a video I'm talking about, but it's how to not get scammed or how to recognize a scam. The resources are here. JT, you've done countless videos that are titled "How to Recognize a Scam," how to stop yourself from getting scammed. The research and everything is out here. There's a guy on YouTube, I can't remember his name, but it had me laughing a little bit because he's starting a real estate fund, and I don't want to mention the name of the fund he's starting, but people started comparing him to Jay Morrison. And he's an older gentleman.
I know what you're talking about.
He's an older gentleman, and he got so perturbed. He was like, "Why would people compare me to Jay Morrison? Is it because we're both black?" And this dude said he did about 30 minutes worth of research into Jay Morrison and found all these negative, felonious, terrible things about the fund. And he's like, man, it took me only 30 minutes to find this out and 3 JT videos. And I found out everything I needed to know. So, you know, for me, I'm getting to the point where I understand when the retribution that you want for being scammed. But at a certain point, you gotta read, baby. You gotta watch these videos. They're here for a reason, you know. But thank you guys. I just wanted to say you guys do amazing work, and you know, watch out because listen, people. You did one thing. You said one key thing, JT. Somebody had asked you, "Hey, you think you're gonna stop all the scammers?" And you were like, "Listen, I'm not here to stop all the scammers because the scam is gonna keep going. But if I can help 20% of people, 30% of people recognize where scams are at least we did something." So thank you guys again, man.
Thank you, Charles. I appreciate it. Yeah, I always find that funny because I get that question. It'd be like, you know, when are we going to win, right? When are we going to win the war against the scammers? And I tell people, like, this is a never-ending battle, man. This is a never-ending battle. We will never win against scammers because scamming is generational. A lot of these scams are not new. These scams are old. All they do is dress it up in new technology. That's all. And you have a new generation who did not experience the scams of 20 years ago. So it's new to them. All we try to do is help those who are willing to listen to keep your money in your pocket. That's it. And then when it blows up, me and Orlando and Eli and Tony, we'll be here to poke fun at these guys, but also try to help the victims somehow, some way, get some pennies on their dollars back. But yeah, it's a never-ending battle. We'll never take over. That's just not how it works. All right, we're gonna get through these calls. We got I think Angela, Business Bites, JP, Otis, and Rob. So let me bring up. Actually, I think this is Angel. Angel, you're live on air. Can you hear me?
Hey, how you doing, JT? Can you hear me?
Yes, sir. Go right ahead.
Hey, how you guys doing, man? I just want to say, let's take a moment of silence real quick for all the people that got scammed the last 3 years. Just a quick moment of silence for all the money that was lost, all the people that got scammed real quick, all right? So I want to say, just by watching her video, I didn't even know who she was until Tony exposed her. Just watching her video. How can you trust somebody that talks the way she does? It's slow people scamming slow people, just like Eli says. Slow people getting scammed by slow people. I'm not
Hold on 1 second, sir. While that is really funny thing to say, and I admit it, that's very funny to say. I have to stand up for the victims just for a moment. This is affinity fraud, okay? And the reason why it's effective is because you trust people who you are familiar with. So if she would have came talking proper, if she would have came in a way that's unfamiliar to her neighborhood, she probably would not have gained their trust. She was able to gain their trust because she sounds like them. She comes from where they came from. She has experiences that are familiar with them. So it's easier to give your money away to someone who you believe has your best interest. So, but yeah, I mean, you're going to get people who you're familiar with. And that's just how it is. And
yeah,
it's always been that way.
I believe it. It's definitely always been that way. I'm on the young side, but I think back to like the Herbalife days and the Avon days when I saw my mom selling those, and I was just like 10 years old, and my mom was here with a whole closet full of everything. Asked me how much of that was sold.
Powdered milkshakes that she could never sell.
Exactly. Now I got a question. So, don't you think everyone who got scammed the last 3 years should come together and file a class action lawsuit with against all the gurus, all the fake scammers, all the course sellers? And I mean, yeah, the money might be lost, but think about this, right? there's a lot of them that are millionaires. And I'm talking about the HIM 500s, the EYLs that endorse them. You got what is it? Wall Street Trapper. I wouldn't trust nobody who's trapping on Wall Street. I would not trust, because what are they buying on Wall Street? What are they buying on Wall Street? What exactly are you trapping on Wall Street? I would not trust anybody like that. So that's where the money at, if you ask me. EYL University and everything. And being realistic on the real side, if everyone comes together, let alone not everyone can afford a lawyer, but if some lawyer or some lawyers decide to pick this up, you probably got about 5,000, maybe 10,000 people in a class action lawsuit who could sue all these companies.
Yeah,
if you really think about it.
Yes. I mean, it's a possibility, but it's such a far off possibility because there's a couple of things working in their favor. Okay, and I appreciate the call. Thank you for calling in. There's a couple of things that's working in their favor. Number one, they're in a community that's about no snitching, right? This is a no snitching community that they pull their victims from. So a lot of them will not go to the authorities because that's not cool to go to authorities. If you can't see a guy in the street and beat him up and get your money, you better just take your loss and keep it moving. So they got that one thing for them. The other thing is, man, they're going to have to get probably like the FTC involved because class action lawsuits cost a lot of money for attorneys to pull together. And while I think they may have a lot of assets, a lot of their assets have liabilities. Even though I know they wear those shirts, assets over liabilities. I personally believe a lot of their assets are tied to liabilities. And the problem with that is the government does not get to step in front of the people who are already waiting with debt. Meaning, let's say I have a brand new car and I owe GMC financing $50,000 on this $55,000 car. Yes, the government can seize the car, but they still got to pay GMC financing. They don't get to step in front of GMC financing, so they'd end up with $5,000 worth of equity, and that's not going to go very far. So a class action lawsuit is going to be a little tough. Let me bring up Business Bites. Business Bites, you're live on the air with Pocket Watching with JT. What's going on?
Hey, JT, just really quick, had a question for you. Have you ever seen the movie Scheme Queens?
No, sounds like a Tubi movie. Where can I find this movie?
Listen, it's on YouTube.
Oh, it's on YouTube.
I was watching the movie last weekend, and I saw a familiar face. And I said, wait a minute, that face looks so familiar. So I said, I am not going to wait until the end of the movie. I had to scroll to the credits, and you will not believe who starred in that movie.
Who is in this movie?
Ernestine Morrison.
To those of you who are unaware, we're talking about the queen of the Tulsa Real Estate Investment Fund, the wife of J. Jermaine D. Morrison, Ernestine Morrison. Apparently, she starred in a direct-to-YouTube movie, Scheme Queens.
I'm telling you,
I will be checking this out. Sure.
The acting was so good. I said,
she said it was so good.
I wonder if she's acting because she played that role to a T.
Maybe she's a method actor. Like, let's just think for a second. Maybe this entire Tulsa Real Estate Fund, this whole thing, starting back in 2018,
was a rehearsal
project has just been an opportunity for Ernestine to become a method actor. She was getting into character for this movie. See?
That's good.
See, I need to be on the defense team.
That's good.
Somebody need to hire me on the defense team.
I just thought that you would get a kick out of knowing that.
That is funny.
Oh no! Thank you so much for calling in. I will absolutely on my downtime, I will be checking out Scheme Queens on YouTube. Scheme Queens on YouTube, starring Miss Ernestine Morrison. Shout out to the Morrisons. They bring us so much entertainment here on Pocket Watching with JT. Shout out to the Morrisons. All right, we got a couple callers left, and we're going to wrap this thing up, and I'll be reading all of my super chats. So let me bring up JP, Otis, and Rob in that order. So JP, you're live on the air. What's going on?
Hey, JT, how you doing, brother?
I'm doing great, man. Thanks for calling.
Hey, I wanted to thank you for putting on such a great platform so we can see what's really going on, you know, with all these fake gurus and all this stuff, because man, it's exhausting, bro. You know what I mean?
Yeah. It's draining as well. It's draining because, listen, I love poking fun at it. Like, to me, it's hilarious. I can do it all day. But when I think about the victims, right? When I think about the people who put real money in the hands of these incompetent people, that's the part that hurts, because I know the reality that most of these people live paycheck to paycheck. And I think we got to understand what paycheck to paycheck means, because sometimes when I say paycheck to paycheck, people get the image in their minds of somebody who's living in a house with one couch, a bed with no box spring. You know, no. You can live paycheck to paycheck, making $85,000 a year. Right?
Agreed.
Paycheck to paycheck is a lifestyle, regardless of income level. But when you give a person 10, 15, 20,000, 30,000, 50,000, $100,000, and you're living paycheck to paycheck, that's the very thing that can tip you over into bankruptcy. It's the thing that can tip you over into foreclosure and your car's being repossessed. That's a total life-destroying event. And it's sad that it's happened on this level ever since the pandemic. People getting stimulus checks, unemployment income, PPP loans, all of these things. That money could have went to paying down your debt, building up an emergency fund, maybe investing in legitimate investments, but it went to people who sell courses online about topics that they've never actually done themselves.
Yeah, man, I agree with you on that. But JT, I do have this question for you, because I know you're in the financial services industry.
Mm-hmm.
I'm actually an insurance agent myself, and I love it. I love it how you talk about you have to have certain credentials and licenses to do what you do.
Mm-hmm.
Why do you think our people, and you said affinity, you know, why do you think our people are just so quick? I mean, they're just so quick to give anybody their money. You know what I mean? It's just, I think it has to be more than just the affinity of us knowing somebody, or is it just we're just trying not to work hard ourselves, or just trying to find a get rich quick scheme? Because I'm trying to think for myself. In my own insurance business, I'm willing to put in the time, but it seems like a lot of these people, they want overnight success. Is that what you're kind of thinking, or?
Absolutely. I'm gonna give you the answer. Thank you for calling in, JP. I think one of the main issues is what we offer as licensed professionals is not the same thing as what these clowns offer. We offer slow, steady financial discipline. You can build wealth. You're not going to become a millionaire in a week or a month, but steady, progressive, just doing the right thing over time in your mid 40s, maybe if you start early. If you start early enough, mid 40s. If you start a little later, it may be in your mid to late 50s. You'll be definitely a millionaire if you follow the advice of a licensed professional who has you dollar cost averaging about 15% of your income. They don't want to hear that, right? The very reply that they'll give is, who wants to be a millionaire when you're old, right? Because they think 50 is old. You're too old to be a millionaire at 50. They want to be a multi-millionaire at 26 or 31. So they don't want to listen to us. They want to listen to the person say, oh, forget that. You don't have to wait till you're 58 to be a multi-millionaire. you can be a multimillionaire in 5 years if you run the play. If you run the play, you'll get there. Don't listen to them. Listen to me. Give me your money. And that offer will always be more appealing to a person who does not know any better. If you don't know any better, you're going to take that offer because it's more appealing. We can't do offers like that because we know it's illegitimate. We know we cannot deliver on that. Just the same as all of these victims who've gone to the news about Miss White, they're saying she signed contracts and made offers on a deal that she knew she could not deliver. We can't do that. Clearly, it seems as if they can, and that's the problem. Otis is in the building. What's going on, man?
JT, my man, what's going on? How you doing, brother Orlando? As well, you got that last part of the conversation kind of went exactly into what I wanted to talk about because I'm also a licensed mortgage and real estate broker here in California, and it just truly breaks my heart. Like the other gentleman was saying, like why people not understand. Like it really takes work to really earn like a dividend in this business in the financial world. Like it's not easy. I mean, it took me falling flat on my face for a long time for me to really get my business under me and really like stop looking for the fast way. Like there's no fast way. Like you got to really do the work. Right? You got to really do the work. And it's funny because this I'm a part of an organization. I'll keep it nameless on this. It's a Black real estate trade organization, and we have conferences twice a year, and her name was brought up to be one of the speakers at our upcoming event in North Carolina in February. And I was like, I was a part of that committee, and I said, I don't know, because I'm never a component of like pushing people for things fast in this business because it doesn't work. Like I've seen it doesn't work. It just doesn't. It's not there. Like for you got some anomalies. Some things happen here or there, but for the most part, it's not going to happen that way. And so the committee said that they would do some more investigation, but I think they have all the investigation they need, and she will not be at our conference.
The invitation is not going out, and if the invitation went out, I'm pretty sure the invitation is getting pulled back.
May not be. I don't think hold on, and let me. And I forgot to say that the speaking engagement fee was for $10,000.
Stop it.
Oh, come on.
Stop.
No. And I lost this battle at our last conference because they wanted to bring the assets over liability boys in. And and
just throw money away.
We felt victim to that. So I appreciate you and the platform that you're doing. So I just know that it is paying dividend. Because I'm a part of the largest Black real estate trade organization. So I'm like, it's really tough. We got to be careful on who we share our platforms with. Especially when we're talking about non-licensed people who don't have recourse. If something happens, like you guys said, that money is gone. We have license. This is the way we earn income for our families, so I can't lose my license.
Some people have professional bonds that they put up there where you could dip into the bonds. Some people have professional boards that basically say you either pay this person back or we're yanking you. So
100%.
You go ahead and you pay, even if you don't feel like you're guilty. You go ahead and pay because you don't want to get your license or your certification yanked from you. That's what we have over us.
Absolutely. But that's all I wanted to say, man. I appreciate you, gentlemen. Orlando, my fellow real estate guy, keep doing your thing in this tough market.
Thanks.
And JT, keep doing your thing, man. I've been a pocket watcher since you was getting 10,000 subscribers. You're over 100K. So congratulations on the success, my brothers, and I'll holler at y'all soon.
Thank you.
Thanks a lot, man.
Orlando, any words on what people, just generally, when it comes to in real estate, red flags?
Well, here's the thing with real estate. Normally, the way real estate works is you never really hand money over to individuals. You don't sign a contract and just say, "Here's the money." No, you always have a third party in between you, title company, attorney, right? There's someone always in between. So when someone's telling me like, oh, I'm getting into this property and I gave all the money to this person, that's a red flag automatically. They're telling you you got to hand the money over to them. You're not going through an attorney or a title company. It just makes no sense. So those type of things are red flags. We talked about earlier about that ridiculous return. That's a red flag. So yeah, and it seems to be the really big thing today when it comes to real estate for individuals to invest in these quote unquote turnkey type of things where you don't have to do anything. You're just going to sit back and relax in a rocking chair and just the money is just going to pour in month over month. Real estate don't work that way, guys. I hate to bust your bubble. It does not work that way. Okay. You're going to have to pay somebody to go fix the stuff and the returns aren't going to be 60%. They're just not. They're not. So those are the big red flags that I really say, but handing your money over to these people in their hands is foolish. You're muted.
I was muted.
Okay. I was like, if something going on with my headphones?
I was muted. Once again, point that I was trying to make. We got Rob. Rob, you're live on air. What's going on? Rob, going once. Going twice. All right, CD. We got CD. Last caller tonight. CD or CCD. You're live on air.
Hey, CCD. Can you hear me?
Yes, ma'am. Go right ahead.
Hi. So first I want to say I really enjoy your platform. It's been just amazing and also crazy to just hear a lot of these stories. In Orlando, it's really good to see you back. I was wondering the other day, I'm like, where is Orlando at? So really good to see you back. But I just want to make a few points. I think, people always talk about, I think it was a caller or two before was talking about, why do we buy in? Why do we do this? And I think a lot of it is that we love an underdog story. We've been the underdog, so we want to believe that we're going to get this great, magnificent story in return, even if something tells us in the back of our mind, this might not be true. We just want to believe so bad, which I think is a huge part of it. And then also the other thing I wanted to say is, I think, one of the things she said was, what did she say? I think there's always risk in business. And it's like, it's just an excuse that she's using to not feel guilty about it. That's how these people sleep at night. And it also is key because somebody probably, sold her that line, whenever they convinced her to get into this, because a lot of these people, they don't think of this stuff themselves. They came across somebody, down the line who convinced them this was a good idea, who told them, oh, why don't you get into it? It's not your fault. People lose money. Sorry. People lose money every day. So those are just the points that I wanted to make, is that these people, they can sleep at night because in their mind, they can justify it because this is the way the world works. I mean, she even said, oh, these people don't care where their money comes from. They do. If I invested and I knew somebody in a wheelchair was out 10,000 just so I could get my money back, I would absolutely not be involved with that at all. I'd be like, hey, just take the money, give it back to him. So, they justify their ill deeds because they think people are evil like them. So that's all I had to say.
Great point. Great point. Thank you so much for calling in. I had to bring up Eli's super chat again because I'm hearing him in the back of my head. Based on the information that we have, this does not look like a bad business deal, right? A bad business deal is one thing, right? A bad business deal. Yeah, we got it. there were multiple investors who invested in the same unit. They got the same contract, same unit, same information, same profit and loss statement, but they each gave her $7,000 or more, but it was the same unit. That's not bad business. That's not, oh, we're going through a bad business cycle. That's fraud, right? If I sell the same product to the same to a bunch of different people over and over again, that's fraud. You cannot sell the same product over and over again to a bunch of different people who all believe they're the only person who owns that product. That's fraud. And sooner or later, we'll get to the bottom of it. At this time, I want to make sure I give a shout out to everyone who gave a super chat. Once again, please, the second this show is over, go subscribe to Eli What Happened to Common Sense on YouTube. The fake gurus are very mad. They had his Instagram shut down. He's trying to get it back, but go support him on YouTube. I want to give a shout out to everybody. Thank you, Joshua. I appreciate it. Jessica B in the building. Thank you so much. We've got, oh my God, Rockmore. I think Lakeisha Rockmore. I'm not good at names, so thank you so much. I appreciate it. New member, thank you. Your sarcasm and petty is impeccable. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. Alva, thank you so much. We work so hard for our money. Thanks for calling these scammers out. Listen, it's a hard job. Somebody got to do it. JT Corn Rings, friend of the show. Thank you so much. Hello, JT, and all the pocket watchers in the chat. Thank you so much. We got another new member out the mud. Lyles in the building. Thank you so much. Thank you. I appreciate it. Our sister Rockmore again says she went to Huey Abrahams University. If y'all have not seen the episode where I interview a man who owns a university that gives out PhDs to a lot of fake gurus, go check out the fake PhD debate, right? Just type it into YouTube, fake PhD debate, pocket watching with JT. You'll be entertained. I'm sure you'll be entertained. Another person, super chat. Thank you so much. Decline Management. I appreciate it. Thank you so much. We got Hard Lesson says, guess them butterfly lashes weren't the tip off.
That's funny. That's funny.
Listen, those eyelashes looked heavy. I don't know how she can hold her head up. Them eyelashes look so heavy.
Caterpillars, huh? I get it.
Once again, another shout out to my brother Eli from What Happens to Common Sense. Go support my brother. Go subscribe to him. Great content creator. He collabs with me a lot, just as Orlando and everybody else who helped make my platform over 100,000. Go support my brother. Let me see. We have Massey Burner in the building. Thank you so much. Massey comes back and says, is Airbnb over? Seems new real estate departments, big and small, are being hijacked by subleasing Airbnb investors. No one is doing long-term living arrangements as of late. What do you think, Orlando? Is Airbnb over? What's going on?
No, I wouldn't say it's over, but it's definitely changing. The short-term rental is, before it used to be the customers, the cleaning fees, but now it's the cities. The cities are just done. The cities are like, no way are we going to allow these short-term, properties to come in and disturb our neighborhoods and bigger than that, get away with not paying taxes like the hotels. Because you have to remember, these cities, they give like tax rebates. If a Marriott's going to be built in their city, they're giving those tax credits to those hotels. Do you think that they want? Right, they got to get that money back. Do you think they go just let a bunch of people just avoid that and live in neighborhoods?
Have their own little pop-up hotel.
It's not happening. It's not happening. So that's what you're seeing. Cities are, I mean, you just saw New York. New York banned it all the way, you know, and they enforcing it. Austin, all these other cities are just starting to pop up and they're just saying, nope, we're not allowing it.
Yeah, yeah. It was good while it lasted for the people who made money, but just realize in business environments, they change. And if you're not able to change with them, you're going to be left behind. Shouts out to the one and only says, what about the guy from Credit Hero? I'm not sure. There's so many guys out here.
How many credit guys are there?
But if they're telling you that they can fix your credit, they can take anything off your credit, no matter what it is, it's probably a scam. It's probably a scam. The Little Gaming Channel. Shouts out to the Little Gaming Channel. Says, wait, we love the scammers, but hate on the people that expose them. That's the definition of crazy. Listen, but it's like when you watch a movie and you want the guy to rob the bank and you're rooting for him to get away until you think about, what if you had your money at that bank?
Oh, no. Go catch him.
Right? You were like, yeah, I want him to get away. It's like, what if that was your bank? It's always, it's cool until it happens to you. We're always rooting for the underdog until you're the victim of the underdog. That's the problem with that. We got Doe Eyes. Doe Eyes, thank you. Longtime supporter, Doe Eyes TV. I did an interview. Listen, I did an interview on their channel. Go check them out, Doe Eyes TV. Thank you for continuing to be a member on Pocket Watching with JT. I did an interview on that channel. Go check them out. And lastly, we got Rebel Grease says, if somebody wants to see how much money they would need to achieve $1 million in 5 years, just do 1 million divided by 1 plus 1 point exponent of 5. Stop getting scammed. Yeah, I mean, unless you have an amazing skill set. If you can play basketball at an elite level, if you can sing and you can dance at an elite level, you know, yes, you can probably make that chunk of money that fast. Or you're in some sort of crazy industry where it's really booming like tech was and all this stuff. Yes, it's possible.
Right.
But is it probable? It's not probable. So maybe you should plan for what's probable, what's mathematically makes sense. Maybe hold out hope, keep it to under 5% of your overall portfolio. Take some chances on some things that might 10x or 100x. But once again, you limit it to 5% of your portfolio. The problem is most of you live paycheck to paycheck. You cannot do that. You can't risk your money on some weird crypto coin when you can barely pay your rent on time. You have to have priorities. Get a budget. Get an emergency savings fund. Pay down your debt. Invest 10 to 15% of your income in traditional asset classes. Then, if you still have money left over, you can throw it at something. But most of y'all want to skip step 1, 2, 3, 4, and 5 and go over to step 8 and roll the dice. This is what happens when you roll that dice. You end up
straight
on
to the
news
lottery
talking about how you lost $56,000 to a woman who has eyelashes so big that you can imagine you could probably sweep the floor with those eyelashes. Like she took those eyelashes off and put them on a broomstick. You can clean the floor. Why? What are we doing?
Said, that's not a red flag.
Not a red flag. Don't worry about that. Hey,
you know,
listen.
if you really think about it, JT, though, a lot of times, at least in our profession, I wonder sometimes, be like, is my certificate, my license, my degree, is that the red flag to people? Is that the red flag?
Is that what they think is red flag? Hold on. He went to school. He got licensed. He got certified. he actually has a real office and he's not doing it from his mother's basement, something's wrong with this fella.
Something wrong.
Something's wrong with this fella.
I can't
All
get
right,
on my
we're
money.
gonna wrap this thing up. I'm not gonna act like everyone knows who I am or who you are. Orlando, let them know where they can find you.
Yeah, so Orlando Minor, talk about real estate, housing, finance. Go to my channel. You'll love it. We have fun over there. We talk about finance and housing in a fun way. So yeah, please come on over. I would love to have you.
All right, here we go. Listen, to all the pocket watchers, once again, from the bottom of my pocket watcher heart, you guys pushed me over 100,000 subs in 1 week. Last week at this time, I was 600 subscribers away from 100,000. Now I'm like 50 away from 105,000. That's because of you. So listen, when the silver play button comes in the mail, we're going to have some fun. We're going to do one dedicated live stream to just congratulate you guys for making this happen. And we're going to have some fun. I'll let you know when it comes in the mail. They say it comes in the mail about 2 or 3 weeks. I'll let you know. We'll have some fun. Other than that, guys, be safe. Don't buy any wooden nickels. Try not to buy any bad crypto coins. Keep your money in your pocket. And don't get scammed. Till next week, we'll see you. Pocket Watcher is out.
Hi, I'm Mike Evans with Mo Money. Tell me, what do you know about Mo Money?
Brother, all I know is I was there last night getting my taxes done, and today, there's more money all the way. You know what I'm saying?
And how about you?
In here yesterday, back today to get my check. This Mo Money stuff is real. I'm Mo Money for life.
Out of slow money? Well, come to Mo Money, because we about that. Mo Money Taxes, and once again, it's on, and I got the hookup.
Mo Money Taxes. Come down and see us, and you'll be glad that you did. At Mo Money Taxes, you're more than just another number. This year, we're offering our 30-second refunds to go along with our next-day refunds. Come down and see us, and you'll be glad that you did.
Continuing saga of Mo Money Taxes. Norfolk police are investigating the tax preparer, and they have alerted the IRS about customers' complaints.
Where's my check?
That's the question all of these people want answered.
The IRS is basically verifying to us that our money is here in their bank account.
Friday, crowds gathered at Mo Money Taxes in Norfolk. On Granby Street, owner Mario Brady told us he printed 50 checks and 30 did not clear.
The banks have refused to cash their checks, saying that there is fake. I mean, that is unacceptable.
Federal agents raided the headquarters of Mo Money Taxes in Tennessee this morning.
You may remember 10 on Your Side traveled to Memphis for local Mo Money customers who claimed they didn't receive their refund. We continue to follow another developing story. New tonight, tensions continue to run high as customers wait for their tax returns that they say we're not getting from Mo Money Taxes. You can see the level of anger just a few hours ago at this Norfolk location off Brambleton. Angry customers who say they were promised refund checks and didn't get them broke windows, and police were called to break up the angry crowd.
That's just ridiculous.
Marcus Eves, a former customer who says he filed his taxes with Mo Money in 2007, is worried about what we recently uncovered behind this Mo Money Tax Services location on Elvis Presley.
This is wrong for, files to be out here. This is people's personal information that anybody could have come by and gotten.
Investigators are now looking into the discovery of thousands of documents thrown into 3 dumpsters behind the facility. Shortly after authorities arrived on scene and put up crime scene tape, so did Marquis Granberry with Mo Money Taxes.
Normally, we would have all files shredded and shredded or whatever, but we don't throw files in the garbage can.
I asked him what happened and why the documents were not shredded.
Our lease was up on this operation, so I assume the landlord went inside of the location and for whatever reason he decided to throw the files in a dumpster.